Anyway, so back to our discussion about what's easier, tanking or healing. I find healing way less stressful. Like, healing is what I do to relax. Like, I'm like, I need to relax. I need to do something easy. Let's do some healing. Like, I just feel like healing is so scripted. It's so easy to do. People make mistakes, but if people die because of the mistakes that they make, right? Like, they're playing the game poorly and so therefore make mistakes. Like, that's not your responsibility, right? Let's say someone dies and they had a healing potion and they died to rot damage. It's like, drink your healing potion, bro. Like, they died because they chose death. They did not die because you didn't do enough output, right? Like, now rot damage generally is considered the healer's responsibility, so maybe that's a bad example, but if you die because you stood in a swirly, that's not the healer's fault. And I think once you learn how to differentiate a death because of, not enough healing throughput and a death because someone is bad at the game, you will like healing a lot more. That's what I did to, like, get comfortable with healing, was just learn what is my fault and what is not my fault. Like, what reasonably was I expected to do for healing, and what was their job? Did they use their defensive? Did they, stand in bad? Did they accidentally taunt the boss? Like, what did they do that contributed to their death, and what was my expectation to help them avoid that death? Did I meet that, right? So I would say most of the time as a healer, most of the time, if you're a decent healer, right, like, you know how to use your buttons, if someone dies, it's their fault. How do I know that? Well, I am a common denominator in the plays with Dalinar world, and when I am playing with myself, for lack of a better term, I rarely, extremely rarely, do I die as a DPS or as a healer. I'm usually the last person to die in raid and in keys and in open world. Like, rarely am I the first person to die. In raid, I usually end up as one of the highest DPS because I use a lot of self-healing. And so when other people are dying to mechanics, I'm not. I'm not standing in poison, right? Like, that guy, he just died because he stood in a poison cloud summon. He did not die because the healer didn't do a good enough job. What is he supposed to intuit, that he's going to stand in a giant green swirly and then instantly drop dead, and so therefore he needs to grip him? What, he doesn't even have a grip. He's a holy paladin. What's he supposed to do? All he can do is stand there and smile, right? Like, maybe as a prop paladin I could have saved him with blessing of spell warding had I known he was going to stand in a swirly. But you see what I'm saying? Like, if you're good at awareness, right, you have good situational awareness, so you're paying attention to, like, what's happening in the game environment, you're paying attention to your own health bar, and you're using the resources that the game provided. Every class has a self-heal. Every class has a defensive, without exception. Every single class in the game has those two things. Some classes might have a better self-heal. Some classes might have a better, defensive or suite of defensives. Absolutely. 100%. No doubt. 100%. However, every class has them, right? And I played every class except for Rogue, admittedly. And on every single class, I'm like, I thought this was the squishy class. How come I don't die? And it's like, oh, well, Dalinar used your defensive. I'm like, why is not everyone using their defensive? Isn't that why they were added to the game, so that people could use their defensives? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, where is the miscommunication here? Like, where are people getting lost in this? Like, I just don't get it. Yes, it is traditionally difficult to heal, to stay alive on a hunter, because hunters take more damage or something. I don't know. It's hard. It's tough. But I've been in keys where I was on a mage and I out-healed our tank. Admittedly, he was a terrible tank, and the key folded shortly after, because literally someone in chat said, hey guys, our mage is out healing the tank. I think it's time we call it. Which was, very funny. in a morbid kind of thing. Anyway, however, your expectation as a tank is to not die, which is harder than it seems, right? To not die constitutes all kinds of stuff, right? Because you have to manage your pull count. You have to manage, like, how many, what kind of things can I pull extra into this pack? Can I, right? Like, not dying is so much more than just keep your health above zero. It's anticipate damage that's incoming. If you use defensives reactively, you are almost always going to die. Now, a good healer uses, healer heals, proactively, right? So you're throwing out abilities that reduce damage taken, you're throwing out abilities that increase healing received, like there are definitely preemptive healing things, but for the most part, if you're a good healer, right, if you know how to use your toolkit, you can responsively heal. Like, you can heal a key you've never healed before. Now, you're probably not going to be able to heal a key that's like a 17 or an 18, right? If you've never healed that key before, because there is, learning damage profiles, right? He just ate 3 spiders. So learning damage profiles is like, when is the damage going to go out? Oh, Lord. We survived that.
Defensive.
Focus boss, guys. Slow ads, focus boss. It's our only shot. Come on, we can do this.
Watch your step.
Come on. No. No. We died because he's doing 100, like, so much increased damage.
I simply wish you had left.
Right, he was doing 90% increased damage. I can't believe we survived the Shrill, but then died to the Gossamer Onslaught.
3 stacks
That's crazy.
is a little hard. We all poke defensive.
Ooh. So, yeah, definitely healing does have a learning curve for, like, where you need to be ready for certain damage outputs, right? Like, and how you can make a difference in, like, supporting your team, and not knowing
though GL on your future endeavors.
not knowing the profile definitely will mess up your ability to heal well. Like Dawnbreaker, the second boss in Dawnbreaker is a boss that, if you don't know the damage overlap from the orb and the AoE rot damage, it will really mess you up in your ability to heal the group, right? Like, you need to know the profile there, that on the 4th or something, or on the 3rd thing, there'll be an overlap in mechanics. So there, and City of Threads, oh my god, City of Threads was a key that you absolutely needed to know at higher levels, how the damage events happened, well, how they worked, and be ready for them, because if you weren't, everyone was going to die, like 100% going to die. So that's definitely a thing. However, tanking a key blind, if you've never run a key before, ever, like literally ever, right? And you go into that key for the first time on like a 10, right? You go into the key for the first time on a 10, having never done it before, you will 100% not time. Like, you need to know what percent, right? You need to know percent. You need to know routing. You need to know, like, what needs to be pulled together. You need to know what you can't pull together, right? If you pull a mob, like here in Arakara, if you pull these hulking guys reduce the damage that everything takes around them by 50%. I don't know why it's not saying that here. Maybe that's something new that they added, that, and then this is the old Arakara. I think this is the old Arakara, so it's not there. Weird. Yeah, it's not showing up here. But those guys reduce the damage that all mobs within a certain range take by 50%. Right? They also have a huge AoE, like, rot damage thing. So if you pull 2 of those guys together, guess what? They're taking 50% less damage each, both the big boys, right? Both big boys. And all the ads are taking 100% less damage. So none of the ads are taking any damage at all. So if you pulled anything other than the 2 Hulkers, the ads are taking 0 damage, and the 2 big guys are taking 50% less damage, and they already have a massive health pool, right? And then they do huge AoE rot damage. Your healer might be able to heal through 1 overlap of them both going at the same time, but not 2. Not 2 in a row. Like, forget it, right? So as a tank, you need to know how mobs interact with each other. You need to know not to overpull certain like kicking things and stuff like that. And usually if you pug a lot, tanks take a disproportionate amount of responsibility, right? I pretty much every
This
time
key needs some nerfs.
there
It
is
is like 20% harder than other keys at the same level IMO.
yeah, that's true. Like if this was Gambit, imagine if we were doing
It's just
Gambit
the
right now.
first boss.
And the second boss, and the last boss,
I miss
and all the
Gambit.
trash in between.
Timer is giga tight. And I still need Gambit.
Especially as a paladin, I take on a ton of responsibility, right? Because I have a heal. I can heal party members. I have a DR that I can throw on people. I have Blessing of Sacrifice. I have Blessing of Spell Warding, so I can give someone immunity to magic damage. I have... excuse me. I have lay on hands, right? And now even more so, I have all of these other abilities. I have, you know, Holy Bulwark and Sacred Weapon. So I have a lot that I can do to provide value to my team. I have Poison Cleanse, right? I think I'm the only tank in the game that has a Poison Cleanse. Oh no, monks I think can Poison Cleanse as well, maybe? Usually tanks have a lot of way to interrupt ads, right? Like Demon Hunters have multiple ways they can interrupt ads. I don't know about bears. Or monks. So I feel like as a tank, your monk has Poison Cleanse. Okay, yeah, but bears don't, and demon hunters don't, and warriors don't. So like what, 20%, 40% of tanks can cleanse? Is that right?
I wasn't targeted. Rip.
I feel like tanking since season 2 of the War Within is like, how are you feeling? Pull more. Are you almost dead? Pull more. Are you out of defensives? Pull more. Are you out of resource? Pull more. Is everything on cooldown? Cool. Pull more. Like, I feel like you always have to pull more. Like, there's never like, okay, that's good, that's enough. Actually, yeah, like, don't worry. Like, pulling more at this point would be irresponsible and just dumb. Like, it's like, no, pull as much as whatever your threshold is, you need to be maxing that threshold as a tank. I feel like whatever you can barely survive, good. That's good. Stay there. Like, there's never a point where, like, as a tank, I feel like it's like, oh no, if you're comfortable, that's fine. Like, it's good to be comfortable. Like, I feel like it's like, no, you should always be at your absolute capacity. Whatever your capacity to survive is, do that. Oh, you can pull the entire stairwell and survive? Guess what? Now you have to. Now you have to. You have to. You're not allowed to pull less. If you pull less, your DPS will go, hey, Dalinar, one time I was in this key with a demon hunter, and he pulled the entire stairwell. So I'm going to help you. You don't realize that you can pull the entire stairwell? So I'm going to help you, Dalinar, and I'm going to pull the entire stairwell for you. Oh, you stopped just in front of the casters? I'm going to pull those casters, because I was in a group one time, Dalinar, I was in a group one time, and the tank pulled that. So guess what? I'm going to pull it for you, Dalinar.
And when they say go a lot.
Oh my god. So it's like, guess what? You have to pull whatever is maximally possible for your gear. Whatever is pullable, you have to pull it. Otherwise, your DPS will pull it for you. And then when you die, they're going to be like, oh my god, tank diff, ZZZZ. You guys suck. Vote to abandon. Offline. It's crazy. Like, there's so much pressure on a tank to get it right. How many times is a DPS allowed to die and still be considered a good DPS? Guess what? There is no cap. If you're able to die and every single pull, yet still end up being the top DPS in your group, right? Let's say you're able to die 6 times in a dungeon and still be top DPS because of the way your cooldowns work, right? Like you blow all your cooldowns and then drop dead. Whatever. Nobody cares. Did we time the key? Yeah? Then nobody cares. No one cares. If you're the tank, if you die once, people lose complete faith in you. They lose all faith in you. They're like, oh, this guy sucks. He's garbage. Let's get out of here. Tank died. He doesn't know what he's doing. Let's get out of here. We gotta go. This tank is an idiot. He's a noob. He just died. I don't care that he was taking 27 million DPS per second. Per second. With a health pool of 20 million. He's garbage. Let's get out of here. As a healer, it's just not like that. You can die a lot as a healer. Nobody cares. Did we time it? Yeah, you're good. It's fine. Tanking is bar none the most stressful job in a key. And if you think otherwise, it's because you haven't tanked. If you're like, oh no, tanking is not as stressful as healing, trust me, healing is more stressful. Dalinar was a healer all season 1. I healed 13s and 14s in season 1. And then I switched to tank at the very end because my push group was like, Dalinar, please go tank. Prot Paladin is Bis and freaking Holy Paladin is Z tier. Please play tank. Please play tank. And I was like, okay, fine. So I go Prot. Then we start timing higher keys, right? And the keys that we were struggling on before are keys that were homework keys, right? They start to become easy because, well, our tank is not struggling anymore because, you know, we have a better tank. Our tank was like a monk tank before. So we switched from a monk tank to paladin tank. I have a lot more utility. I am much more survivable. We can do bigger pulls. We can do more aggressive pulls. And so, you know, we started ending up timing dungeons easier. And so I did an entire season as tank. I've done entire seasons as DPS, and I've done entire seasons as healer. I've done all the roles. Okay. I do in fact know what I'm talking about. I've healed this season. I've healed 13s this season. I'm not making it up, right? Like I know what I'm talking about. Healing for me is what I do to relax. It's very scripted, right? This boss's damage is completely scripted, right? Like it's very scripted. You know when it's going to happen. You know what to do. You know how to prepare. And you just got to do your job of just like hit the buttons. And most of the time when people die, it's their fault, not your fault. Most of the time, right? Your job is not to make up for people's mistakes. Your job is to heal them through damage events, right? That's your job. So healing is easier than tanking. And how do we know this to be true? Well, guess what? There's a lot more healers than tanks. Guess what? I feel like what they need to do to make tanking more fun and more appealing to the masses is they need to make tanks basically immune to like everything. And I think the tanks should be doing like on average 20% less damage than the DPS. And I think a lot more people will tank because it's just going to be more appealing. Like if you basically can't die, right? You're basically immune to everything. More people will be attracted to tanking because it's like, well, it's not that stressful. Like I don't have to worry about, you know, pulling. Like the pull size will be capped by my healer now, right? How big I can pull will be determined by how much our healer can do for like AoE throughput. It'll be on the DPS for how many things can they kick, right? Like the onus will shift off the tank and onto the party. If the tank can survive basically unending damage, right? If they basically can't die, then the tank people would love to play tanks. People will fight over tanking if it's like, oh, it's like a DPS that just can't die. Like I do slightly less damage than a regular DPS and I'm immune to everything. Like then people will love tanking. There'll be so many tanks that you'll start to struggle to find DPS. In fact, you'll see it'll become common that there'll be 3 tanks in one group. So then to fix that, you just have to make it so that you can't start a key with more than 1 tank in it. And in raid, bosses do weird stuff if there's more than 3 tanks. Bosses will freak out and do, you know, absurd giga damage and just enrage within, you know, 30 seconds. Right, so it's not like, oh, well then everyone will just be tanks. It's like, well, yeah, but that, you know, is very easy ways to manage that. So, yeah. Tanking has a lot more onus. You need to know the route, and you need to know the route as it updates throughout the season. You know, routes that work really well in a 13 don't work in a 17 at all, because of there's just not enough time, right? Your DPS eventually will hit kind of the ceiling of how much DPS can be done because there's no more gear to get. All the gear has been gotten. Everyone's everyone's maxed out on everything, and there's no more damage to find. Like, they found it all. So now the routes have to update, and you have to pull more aggressively than you did before. Even though you, as a tank, are also capped. You've also found the ceiling of how much damage you can reduce. You got to pull bigger. So the routes are updated throughout the season, and you need to know the updated routes. If you're doing outdated routes, people get very upset. Why are you going left? You should be going right. Why are you going right? You should be going left. Why are you standing still? You should be pulling that. Why aren't you adding this? Everyone else folds that in. Right, and a lot of things that people don't understand that certain routes only work for certain compositions. They don't get that. They just know that I saw in a YouTube video a guy pulled the entire room. Why don't you pull the entire room? And it's like, well, what you don't know, Mr. DPS, is that that tank is a demon hunter, and demon hunters have access to a set of tools that I don't, and so they can manage that pack in a very unique way that I cannot. And there are other pulls in which I have planned for that I can pull that a demon hunter cannot. Right? So it's like people just don't understand the complexity of like how the game works in that respect. They go, oh, I saw these guys on the 23, they pulled the whole room. And it's like, yeah, they pulled the whole room, but also they had this DPS, that DPS, this and that, and this and that. And those things all matter, right? Like, the fact that they had cast less, they had those different, you know, buffs and this and that. This guy has that CC, this guy has this CC. You know, oh, the hunter does this and that and the other. It's like, there are things that you can do that change, you know, how the dungeon interacts with your party. I'm using stinky bright potions to make the dungeon brighter. Stinky bright potions are Abyss. So, do I enjoy tanking? I love tanking. I love tanking. It's great. I love healing. I love DPSing. I love it all. That's why I do them all. I thoroughly enjoy all the aspects of this game. I think they're all good. I think there's interesting, unique balance parts to all of the game. And I think that the stress of tanking only applies to some people. I don't think tanking is for everyone. I know plenty of people who, if you were to, you know, ask them to tank, they would not like it at all. And I know because I played with those people, and you know, there have been times where we have floated the idea of like, oh, would you like to try tanking for the raid this season? And they're like, absolutely not. And it's like, okay, what about just like for like normal? And it's like, no. They don't like that, you know, because like right now, if anyone in this group were to die, we're fine. Right? If the healer dies, we can manage. If one of the DPS dies, we'll manage. If I die, it's likely like vote to abandon. Right? Because if I die, rapidly other people start to die. Because Mr. Tank is no longer absorbing, you know, 80% of the damage, 90% of the damage that's currently going out. Right? So there's just inherently more responsibility on your shoulders. Also, if your healer dies, you have plenty of time to battle res them. You might be able to go through 3 or 4 cycles of whatever's happening in order to battle res your healer, right? And people can survive by using potions, using defensives, using self heals, or using, you know, tools that they have to support each other. But if your healer dies, I mean, if your tank dies,
I focus purple.
often it's over. Like, that's it. The capacity to survive depends on DPS and healers, though. Absolutely. Certain pulls are very doable if they die fast enough, right? If you only need 40 seconds of defensives, then you can pull an absurd pull. But if you need 55 seconds of defensives, and the you know, you don't have 55 seconds worth of defensives, then you're gonna die and the pull is gonna fail. So that's 100% correct. Solintosh, astute observation. Sometimes the tank can live the pull, but the others can't, though. That's also a thing that can happen, right? There's just too much rot damage, right? With the double hulking blood guard. If you were to take double hulking blood guard, then they do their AoE damage thing, right? The tank can survive that comfortably, and everyone else is going to drop dead. Absolutely. I hate that so much. I just let them die if they do that. I don't know what that was in relation to Cheebs, but I'm sure it was a very good thing you said, and thank you. I agree. I also let them die if they do that. I don't know what we're talking about, but definitely. I'm happy to tank for you if you want a breather. Thank you. My trouble with tanking and healing is whenever I'm healing, I'm looking at the tank and I'm going, I wouldn't do that. If I was the tank, I would have done that. I don't like the way. And when I'm the healer, when I'm the tank, I'm like, you know, don't take that. No!
I'm bad.
No!
No.
Oh, no.
Leave me.
No, don't. No, don't. You
I'm
gotta
on
get
the
up.
ground.
You gotta get up. You gotta get up. We need the DPS. Make sure you don't get up now, though, because if you get up now, we will die. Solintosh. Okay, this is good. This is good.
Ugh.
This is good. This is good. We like this. We are in a good position. This is good. Oh no. This is not good. This is very bad. This boss takes forever and we need all of our DPS, most definitely. Gosh, that again. See, I take responsibility for that death where I rezzed her into the frontal. I'm like, oh, that's my fault, right? Like, I res without thinking of where I'm rezzing. It is very common that people are stressed out in encounters when they die. They're very stressed and they're not thinking clearly. They're not thinking, where's the little res icon? Where is that? Oh, that's in the frontal? Let me wait. Right? They're just thinking, I gotta get up, I gotta get up, I gotta get up. And then they get up and then they instantly die to a mechanic. And I take responsibility for that. That's a very common thing. It happens a lot. I should have seen that. You know, been like, oh yeah, of course they're gonna accept that res, you know. So let's just hope that she can pump the cooldowns. Definitely Arcane Mage has more single target damage than a Ret Paladin, so of the people that can die here, Ret Paladin is the best. If we had to choose, it's the best one to be dead right now. Hopefully we have enough time when we do this fight. But this guy has just mountains of health. So losing any number of DPS is very, very tough. Okay. I think we're okay. He should be dead, like, now, right? And he's not. So we're a little bit behind, but we're, like, you know, a reasonable amount behind. It's not like, oh yeah, we're screwed. So I think we're okay.
Res up.
Oh, B-res is up. Hell yeah. Let's do that. Let's not take the B-res if you're standing in bad. Yeah, I think save it, right? The ret cooldowns for damage are just like Wake of Ashes and stuff. Like, Retribution Paladins are damage over time, guys. They're not bursty. Their burst is pretty meh. So I think we just leave him down. And then that way we plan to succeed. Nice.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead and res here. How much
Doable.
time do we have? 8 minutes. It's possible. Doable is
I'm sorry.
enthusiastic lies.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh, I fell off. Controlling. I need to kick this one. And I need to kick that one because I have controlling issues. And I will kick every single one every single time. I wish casters would always stay at the bottom of the stack. Like, I don't care if there's, you know, these little dudes. I feel like these guys shouldn't even have nameplates. Like, they just don't matter. Like, I don't need to see them. And I know I can hear you already being like, Dalinar, there's a solution for that. It's called Plater. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I know. I'm aware. Okay. This is possible, guys. Pull together. Plan right now. Plan for where you're gonna grab your pool. Right now, make a plan for where am I gonna grab my pool? How am I gonna live the suck in? Don't panic and be like, oh, it's sucking in. Where do I go? Have a plan right now for how you're gonna survive. I'm not gonna take a pool so that everyone else can. Put a dot on you. Damage taken increased by 70%. Damage done reduced. Oh. So it doesn't just like insta kill you like it used to. Interesting. I just used Ardent Defender and I was like, that way if I die from the suck in, it'll just res me with 20% health. Watch your poison wave. I don't want to reduce my damage done by 75%, so I'm just gonna immune that. Tanking the damage of the poison is not that important for me. What's more important is just living. And I need mana to do that, so like the dispel is so expensive that it's actually cheaper for me to just use a defensive and just tank the poison than to dispel it. Okay. Everybody have a puddle? Good. Sorry, I can't reach out right now. I have to lock in. If we were to mess this up because of me, I think I would have to retire for this season. Have a plan for your pool. Combat potions if you have them. I think Sinful you can combat pot. Nice. We did it!
First try. $% carrot and yeah.
Okay, we got
Dalinar. I love you.
3 people got
You are
3K.
the best.
3
GTS
people.
Boys.
So that we're up to 20 people with 3K this season. Let's update it. 20 people. We did it. 1,
Gloves
2,
anyone?
3. Ooh, speed.
Portalink.
Little of Ubery just cheered 1,000 bits.
Evil has
Dallin Eye's
fallen,
best part
and
paladin in
justice
WoW.
prevails. May the light forever guide our path. We give thanks for its blessings.